Back in the beginning of this section of this course, we were talking about margins, manipulating the left and the right margins, and we also had the top and bottom margin of your page. Now you recall I mentioned that top and that bottom margin are reserved space for your header and your footer. I've got the same example file open in front of you. Up at the top, I've got that 1-inch area inside there where I want to put my header. Maybe it's something like the page or the report name, the document name. Maybe it's my name could go up there, the creator of the document. Maybe it's the logo, your company logo or your team logo or whatever it is you're putting up there. And then you've got the footer. Again, got that 1-inch space down at the bottom where I could put things like the page number, the date, maybe it says confidential, internal use only. Now, whatever we want to have show up on every, or potentially every page of your document. The header and the footer, top and bottom of your page. These are really simple to insert. Take a look. Here I am, I've got the example file just left over from the previous lecture. I'm just going to double click into that open area. And I'm now up inside the header. Now I should actually show off something here. I'm going to go ahead and close this. You'll notice I got a new tab called Header Footer Tools with the Design tab. I'm going to close it for just a moment. So I want to show something off here. Sometimes this happens to people and you get in here, it's like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see that. Well, if I move to the top of the page, see how I got that kind of double-headed arrow looking thing? If I double click, it hides the header area and it hides the footer area. It gives you just a little bit more space on the page. Perhaps you're focusing in on the document, don't care about the header footer, you just want the document's content. Well, for me, I'm going to bring it back. So I'll move back to the top of that page, I'm going to double click again, and it'll bring it back. So it's something I want to show off because it happens by accident, and sometimes you get a document and it's like that, somebody's turned it off. No big deal, just double click again, get up there at the top, double-headed arrow, double click, and it'll bring it right back. Okay, enough of that. So again, I'm going to double click up there, top of my page into the header, and this opens up the design tools, and it's got all sorts of stuff that we could put into your header or even the footer. You got stuff like the date and time, document info, there's loads of stuff in here. We could put in the author's name, your name, the file path, which is great. If you ever print something out or somebody prints something out, it's like, oh, I found some errors in here, some typos or whatever. We need to go back and fix that. Where's that document at? Huh. Well, you can put the file path on there, and now everybody knows it's on the Z drive, it's in this folder, and so on. So you got all sorts of goodies in there you could bring in. Put in pictures in there, or you can just type. You can bang on your keyboard, you can place content into your header. So let's say, for example, I'm just going to say, this is my header, and I'm super excited about it. And you could format that. I'll make it bold, Control B, I'll go to my Home tab, change the color, and do whatever I need to, and I can put content into that header. Now, if I double click someplace empty, or not empty, but someplace outside of that header, double click, it'll bring me back to editing the document, my header's up there, and I go through the rest of the pages, and that text now shows up on every page within the document. Done! You print this out and that's consistent, right? Maybe I want to put page numbers inside the footer. Okay, so I'll scroll to the bottom of a page, double click at the bottom, brings me into the footer, and now I can go back to design and I can insert things like the page number. I want to do the bottom of the page and I want to put it right in the middle. So I'll do this plain number 2. There we have it. So page number 1 in there. And if I scroll through, there's page number 2, page number 3, and page number 4. Done. I've added it to the footer, and it's updated every page. And I could do other things inside of here as well. Let's get back up there. Here's my footer. I want to point something out here. I put that in the middle of the page. Up here on the ruler top of my screen, we haven't talked about these yet. We're going to talk about this much more in depth in a later lecture. But we've got these little tick marks. I've only got 2 of them right here in the middle, just beyond the 3, about 3¼ inches, and I got it roughly about 6½ inches there. These are called tab stops. Typically, inside of Excel, when you tap the tab key on your keyboard, you move 1/2 inch. Let me just show this off here really quick. If I come up here, hit my tab key, it moves it in 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Every time I hit the tab key, 1/2 inch. Well, these tab stops tell Word how far it should move and the alignment based on when you hit your tab key. So if I do this, if I click to the right of that number 1 and hit my tab key, again, normally it would take you 1/2 inch, but this time it's going to jump me all the way over to the side of the page. See how much further that was? It actually didn't go all the way over to that mark. I gotta imagine it's probably because I told it to put it in the middle of the page, keep that number there. Something about that there, but it did move me more than that half an inch typical movement. But it's all based on these markings that are happening inside the ruler. Now, if I want to put something over there, again, I tab over, and I'm just going to put my name. My name is super awesome, right? Now that shows up, if I close out of the header footer, that now shows up on every page within the document. There it is. Header footer. Add it in there, get those consistent elements, right? Always there. Show up at the top of your page, show up at the bottom of the page. Try this out. Again, all I did was open up the document, double click up at the top. You can bang away on your keyboard. You can insert content into your footer as well. Remember, you got the new design tab there. There's all sorts of stuff up here. We haven't talked about all of it yet, but you've got page numbers you can put inside there. You got date and times. You got some document info. You can put your logo in there. You got all sorts of stuff that you can place into your header and footer of your documents. The next time you get into the office and you start getting in documents from coworkers and books that you read, take a look at the footer. What's in there? What are some common things that you'd have show up inside the header footer? And if you get some ideas, try this. Jump into the QA section of this course and share with us what are some of the different things that you've seen show up inside of a header or footer of your Microsoft Word documents. So try this out.